All right, guys, we got another unboxing. This is the RevR V5 e-bike. Let's get unboxed, assembled, and take it for a test ride. Packaging looks pretty good. Very cool. All right, let's time lapse this. All right, we got that all off in a matter of seconds. Let's see what we got inside here. 2-amp charger, and then looks like we'll have to install the front fender, rear fender, handlebars, front tire, and the pedals. Oh, and the headlight. Nice. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Erock Rodz, and today we're going to take a look at the RevR V5 electric bike. This is an affordable, compact, Super 73 style electric bike. The website says it retails for about $1,500, but it looks like it's on sale for $1,000. You're getting a really cool style bike for less than $1,000. Let's take a closer look. This affordable e-bike runs a 750 watt hub motor. The website says that it peaks at 750 watts, so I'm assuming the nominal is going to be probably around 500. It's running a 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery. This has both front and rear suspension. The bike itself is 6061 aluminum alloy and is weighing in at about 85 pounds with a max payload of 265 pounds. The bike has a long seat that can accommodate 2 passengers. It's a little stiff, but it is still pretty comfortable. It does come included with passenger pegs. The bike's riding on 20 by 4-inch fat tires, and the front wheel itself does come with a quick release. If you have to transport the bike and need to take off the wheel to have it fit into the back of a car, the quick release does come in handy, but just remember, those quick releases are not safe for long-term storage if you're just locking it outside. The bike comes with dual piston, Zoom hydraulic disc style brakes with 180mm rotors in the front and the rear. Taking a quick look at the cockpit, we got a half-twist throttle, 7-speed Shimano shifter. We got a pretty nice display that you can cycle through your voltage, the time, odometer, and your trip. The controls are pretty simple with 3 buttons, the power button and the up and down arrow, which controls your pedal assist levels. And if you long press on the up button, this will turn on your headlights. And if you long press on the down button when you're riding, this controls the cruise control. Here's a quick look at the headlight. And it does have a functioning brake light with both front and rear brakes. It's advertised as a 28 mile/hour e-bike on pedal assist and 20 miles per hour on throttle. So overall, I think it's a pretty stylish e-bike. I do like the brown and blue color scheme. I like how the brown handlebars and the brown seat look paired with the navy blue frame. It does have some big branding, the RevR on the battery and the big V5 on the frame. And it does look like this is something you can't take off. I like the whole bike aesthetic, except this is a little bit loud for me. If you don't like, you could probably cover it up. It's not a big deal. But overall, nice design, nice color scheme. So let's take it for a spin, see how the bike feels, and see what speeds we could hit. Testing. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, so we are outside testing out the RevR V5 electric bike, and just my short time riding, very short time riding, I could tell you that this bike is pretty fun. Straight up rip. Let's go. Test the top speed. So, like I mentioned, it's advertised for 28. When I rode it the other day, something was up with the settings where I was getting a max top speed of only 20 on both the throttle and the pedal assist, even though it's advertised as 28 miles per hour on pedaling. So I reached out to the company and they let me know that I could change something in the settings to get it to go faster. And once I change the settings, it's able to get up to speed on both pedal assist and throttle. It is a 48 volt system. It's not getting to that top speed super quick, but it definitely gets there. over time. Just the feel so far, it feels very solid. Very solid. I'm very surprised on how solid these more affordable e-bikes are getting. They don't have the best components in terms of like motor. They do run smaller voltage systems, lower voltage systems, but just the ride and the build themselves feel great for the price. Like, this bike is $1,000. I'm comparing it to when I first got my Aerial Rider X-Class 48 volt. I mean, it's a few years back now, but the quality is like right up there, if not better. $700, $800 cheaper than what I got it for. So it's crazy. And this bike feels solid. Super solid, super fun. Yeah, I hit 28 right there. It hits 28, but I could tell that the settings, I guess, that they gave me still has the motor capping us at 28. So it stays in that legal class 3 e-bike speeds. I'm pretty sure if I bumped up some of the settings that I could probably get over 28 miles per hour. But the bike itself seems very solid. For a $1,000 e-bike, the suspension feels good, really good. The front and rear suspension, it's not the best suspension out there, but like I said, for $1,000, you're getting a very nice quality bike. Great balance, nice style. The only thing that I don't like about the style of the bike is the big V5 logo with that color splash background. That's probably one of the only things that I don't like about the look. The design itself is pretty good. I don't like bikes with these frames where like the space where the battery's located. I feel like if you ever wanted to upgrade, like your space is limited with these type of designs, with this e-bike style frame design. But I'm telling you right now, this bike is solid. Like, I like this bike. Little Ripper. The balance feels great. It's got a low, kind of aggressive riding style. And mind you, I'm a shorter rider, so I don't mind this riding position. Okay, let's get into pedaling a little bit, just for the people that like to pedal. When you're on pedal assist 0, there's no electric assist at all. The thing about this bike is that the top speed is limited by the pedal assist that you're on. So I'm pedaling right now, and it's capping at 9 miles per hour on pedal assist 1. Pedal assist 2 looks like it's also 9 miles per hour. Okay, 3 just let up a little bit, and now it's letting me go to 11, almost 12. 4 is getting me to 15 miles per hour. And then 5 is the top pedal assist level, so this will bring me up all the way to 28. And I'm just pedaling a little bit, and it's just pushing me. It's just flying. For the most part, I'm going to be riding it on pedal assist 5 because this is where you get the max power, the max fun. If you prefer to pedal the bike at a lower speed, you could just drop down the pedal assist, and then you could pedal the bike. It does have a 7-speed Shimano shifter. The limiter is pretty powerful. It's like, it's almost slowing me down once I hit that max pedal assist number. For $1,000, you're getting a pretty nice bike, and the brakes feel solid. These more affordable Zoom hydraulic disc brakes, they still feel good. So basically the only thing that you're really missing from more top-end bikes, besides the more powerful motor, bigger battery, etc., is there's no horn and there's no turn signals. You have your basic twist throttle, you have your 7-speed shifter, very basic controller for your display, no horn, and no turn signals. Sorry.
Have a good day.
You too. Yeah, so on this trail, I'm just keeping it at pedal assist 4, so it maxes out at 15. But it's funny, if I coast downhill, it's exceeding that top speed. All right. just gonna start right here. 3, 2, 1, pedal. Throttle. 750 watt motor. I'm guessing it's gonna get up to like, I was gonna say 15, but it looks like it's not even getting that high. So we're getting up the hill at about 14. Yeah, so it's not the motor peaks at 750 watts. So not the most powerful motor, but definitely capable of some basic commuting. No doubt about that. Like I was saying before, this bike and then also another scooter that I just recently reviewed, they're affordable prices. Like they're below $1,000. The scooter was like around 500, but the quality is just getting better and better of what you could get for these prices. Not everyone in the PEV scene, e-bike scene, has expendable money to buy an expensive e-bike. So these affordable e-bikes will get you right into that class 3 speeds, no problem, without spending an arm and a leg. One of the best things I liked about my 48 volt Aerial Rider X Class, which this feels very similar, was that it was so affordable, but offered great specs still. And this thing, it's not gonna have the highest components, but it's definitely still a fun little ripper. Just take a quick feel of the balance of the bike. I always like to see how balanced the bike is by riding with no hands. Let's see. I mean, it feels very balanced, but it feels weird because my pedal strokes are, I feel no resistance at 50 miles per hour, like barely any resistance. But I like it. I like it. A very well balanced bike. Easy to ride. Definitely like what RevR did with this bike, the V5. We'll do a little brake check. Nice, very nice. Ooh, smelled that rubber right there. Yeah, suspension. It's not the best, but it's not bad at all. The suspension, I'm very pleasantly surprised with the suspension. So the things I like about this bike, I like the overall feel, build, and quality of the bike that you're getting for under $1,000. Like I said, it's not the highest components, but for the price, this thing is a banger. I think the bike looks great, feels great. I'm very happy with this bike, actually, to be honest. Pedal up this. Pedal assist 5. Oh, I need some throttle there. Throttle and pedal to get up this. This is pretty steep here. Alright, so I just wanted to do a little comparison, side-by-side comparison with the RevR V5 and my Lyric Cycles Graffiti 2023 model. I initially thought that the bike was a lot more compact, but after I look closer, they do look very similar in size. It feels more of a compact ride, I'm not sure why, but they are very similar. The 20 amp hour battery is actually bigger than the Aerial Rider 48 volt that I had way back when. So I'm assuming I would probably get maybe like 20 to 30 miles of solid riding on this bike, which is not bad for $1,000 just using throttle. So yeah, I'm a fan. RevR, I'm a fan. The one thing that I didn't like about this bike, and it was part of the building process, is that the manual does tell you how to put the bike together, but it's very broad. You have to install a couple things, and they literally just have a bag full of screws and washers and accessories with no instructions of what to do. So you kind of have to just like figure out what everything is for. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing, but it would have been nice if I was told what I needed to use for installing the headlight bracket, what screws I needed to install the passenger pegs. It's not the biggest deal, but I had to figure it out, especially when all those things are just tossed together in one bag. It could be a little confusing for some people. If you made it to the end of this video, this is a little secret that I haven't shared with the channel yet. But basically the reason why I haven't been going on group rides or riding as much this season is because my wife and I are expecting our second child. With that being said, I've been building a lot of furniture, getting ready for the incoming baby. All that furniture has step-by-step directions for basically every single thing. And then not having that just to put together like the headlight bracket was a little confusing for me after being able to follow all those directions. But like I said, it's fine. I got everything worked out, everything together. The bike is working fine, the bike is working great, and it's actually exceeding my expectations right now. If you have $1,000 and you're looking to get a affordable e-bike that is a legal e-bike, goes e-bike speeds, I think the RevR V5 is definitely a good choice. Maybe if you have a teenager that you're looking to get into e-bikes and you don't want to break the bank, this is definitely a great option. I really like it myself. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. Hit the thumbs up button, it really helps out the channel. And we will catch you on the next ride. Alright guys, ride on. If you stuck around this far in the video, I referred a lot to Aerial Rider this video. If you stay tuned to the channel, there's a little hint of what's coming up to the channel next. Stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next one.